Hey, everybody, listen, what is it? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody, okay? I hope you're having a good day. Initially over here in Jersey, I got a little food. For one period, it was a little nice outside. Then all of a sudden, it got chilly. I was like, ooh, got a little cold, okay? Now, listen, normally, I'm going to keep this particular part short and sweet. Normally over here on Wednesdays, we was recapping Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me tell you something. There are some shows I watched from the very beginning. Love and Marriage Huntsville was one of those shows from the very beginning, the very first episode I watched. And there's some shows because of nostalgia, even though they was getting bad, I'm gonna hang in there with them. I think I told y'all before, I'm gonna hang into the bitter end with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. There are very few shows in my lifetime where I've seen the people on the TV that look like me, if y'all could follow along. And as long as it's not like high level foolery, like these shows like Baddies and stuff like that. I even tried loving hip hop for a little bit, but when it gets too crazy, I can't do it no more. I just can't, right? My brain cells are like, enough is enough, right? But there's certain shows where I just was like, I'm gonna give them my view to the bitter end, right? I'm gonna support them. Um, um, so anywho, yeah, Takesha, but there's more that you don't know about. They might be saying that, but that ain't really so, right? So I'll say this, and even so, there's other people that they're impacting, right? When when you got a subscriber or a fan or whatever, and the people want to take it all the way left. I even said on my show a lot of times, I don't know these people. I'm just recapping the show and telling y'all my feelings on what I saw. And literally, when I hit in video, in stream, I'm done. I go about my life and I'm living my life. But when they want to go around threatening people, threatening their life, exposing their name, their address, their family, their friends, and all of that, that's too much for me. And that's when I abort mission. When they don't understand, I'm talking about collectively, like all of these reality shows, that when we come on this YouTube and we recap them, sometimes there are there's new people that they never even watched the show. And because they have a favorite content creator that is recapping the show, they're like, I'm gonna go watch it. So, but what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna support the violence against other people. I'm not gonna sit here and recap a show, and the only way I can recap it is if I don't say nothing about the fan favorite. And if I do, everybody wants to go crazy and say I'm hating that person. So, although I may still watch behind the scenes, I will not be recapping Love and Marriage Huntsville on this channel. No, I'm not. I'm gonna let it go. Not live, I won't do it. And if I do it, it might be a still video, a video that I record and put out, but I'm not gonna do it live. Because lives take a lot of energy. It does, right? And I love interacting with y'all and talking to y'all and hanging out with y'all. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna support a show where people are putting out, go after this content creator, threaten this content creator, threaten their life, I'm threaten their channel. I'm not doing all of that. So Wednesday nights will not be dedicated to Love and Marriage Huntsville. And it saddens me because I was liking seeing the Fletchers. And like I said, I will still watch, but I won't be recapping. So anyway, guys, welcome in the building. Okay, welcome in the building because now it is Wednesday and we're doing what? We're doing trending topics, people. And what is trending topics? What is this title? It's called My Reputation. My Reputation. Now, Jonathan Majors, he's still on trial. Okay, he's on trial, and the girlfriend got him on video. See, y'all better watch who you're laying down in the bed with. Watch who you laying down in the bed with. You were the girlfriend. Who records their man or their girlfriend or whoever while you're having an argument? Oh my God, you can't trust anybody these days. She recorded him. Okay. You know, she liked to go out and party and drink, and he said that ain't part of my image. He said that ain't part of my image. And he told her, he tried to give her examples. Yeah, he did. He said, you know, Michelle Obama, she wasn't out there smoking, drinking, and falling all over the streets because she was representing Obama. That's what he told her. He should have gave her some examples she could have related to. But listen, then he said, you know Coretta Scott King? Now, everybody didn't get the Black history in school, Jonathan. He asked her, did she know Coretta? Say you need to be like Coretta. And that girl was just crying and carrying on and He said, you can't be in these streets drinking. Now, I will say this. When you come together with somebody, y'all do represent each other. Yeah, y'all do. So I get the message he was trying to say, okay? I get the message he was trying to say. He was trying to say, I represent you, you represent me when we go on these streets. Because I tell my son that all the time. Don't be out in them streets acting a fool. You represent your mama. You represent me. That's what he was trying to tell her. But she recorded him. We're going to get into it. And Tiffany Haddish, she got her second DUI, they said, in 2 years. She got the second DUI. Yeah, she did. The second DUI. So she got the second DUI in 2 years. And now the state or whoever, they want to regulate what she does. Yeah, they do. They want to tell her, don't drink. Now see, when you get the public in your business, now they telling her she can't drink. Because both times she was in her vehicle, in the streets, knocked out, passed out, behind the wheel. Now they come for her. Now, I know y'all know I love Oprah, and I'm going to go see The Color Purple. Yes, I am. You talking about reputations here. Now, I like Oprah. I do. And I'm still going to see The Color Purple. But Oprah just 2 days ago, she told us she would never. She said, I get on the treadmill in the morning, I watch what I eat, and right before dinner, I go on the treadmill again. So I would never take a weight loss drug. She said, I wouldn't take Ozempic, not me. I'm not going to take a drug that is meant for the diabetics. I ain't doing that. That's what Oprah said out of her mouth. Then the people must have got in her ear and told her, stop lying. Stop lying, because this ain't right, Oprah. Now Oprah want to come back and backtrack. She put the train in reverse. She put the train in reverse. And she said, yeah, I mean, I use medication. Now she just want to call it medication. Oprah, just come on, stop. Tell the people you on the Ozempic. I use medication, and, you know, I use it every now and then, and this and that, and the blah, blah, blah. Reputation. I don't know why these people want to lie. If you use the drug, say you use the drug. If you use Ozempic, say you use Ozempic. But don't be lying to the people and having them getting up every morning, going on the treadmill, and then they wonder why. Well, why didn't I lose this weight? Because she act like she started eating right. Oprah. And she on the Ozempic or something, some weight loss drug. But listen, people, come on now. And there's some people that was like, no, I believe her. Yeah, y'all believe her because she was Oprah. But she a human being. And she told a big fat lie. Because just as soon as she said it, she had to backtrack. Because some people was in her ear saying, don't do that. She told us when she was doing the Weight Watchers commercials. I can still eat bread. She eating a bread and she's taking a shot. Listen, everybody. Okay. Y'all know what I need in that chat. Y'all know what I need in that chat, right? I need a what? I need a choo choo. Hold aboard, everybody. I'm about to board this train for Wednesday night trending topics. Somebody say my reputation. Okay. My reputation is on the line. Okay. Jonathan Majors, Tiffany Haddish, and Oprah Winfrey. That's what we talk about tonight. And I need to board this train, okay, with the people. Okay, I think one of my people that wanted to be on first on the line here, they left the building, but it's okay. Hey, Robin. Hey, in my opinion, the Don, Felicia, Leo. Hey, E.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Hey, Choo Choo. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Chanel.
Hey,
And
Tiva.
Julius. Listen, we got the people in the building.
Hey,
We here. Hello.
Hello. Let Oprah be free. Well, honey, this Jonathan Majors. Well, we did a poll. I did a little here, and I said, was Oprah wrong for lying? Y'all all saying yes, pretty much. 78% of y'all said yes. Just tell the truth and shame the devil.
there's nothing wrong with saying she's doing the Ozempic. Just say you're doing the Ozempic and then go back about your berry life. That's it.
That's it. You know what? Matter of fact, I might as well just go ahead and since I did the Oprah poll first, I'm going to just go ahead. We're going to knock Oprah out the way. Okay. Let me see here. 1 second, guys. Let me just mute this over here. Okay. Let me share screen. Let's get into Oprah. Okay. So Oprah's done being shamed. She said, yes, I use meds to drop 40 pounds. Come on, Oprah. You could have just told us that from the door. Oprah Winfrey is overcoming decades of shame attached to her body, and she's admitting taking weight loss medication, even though she previously said she'd never do that to slim down. After shedding 40 pounds this year, the billionaire TV mogul is done with cruel and insensitive conversations about her appearance, gushing that pharmaceutical assistance has changed her relationship with her figure. I can't play this because there's music in it, but she's celebrating the color purple. She has been doing her TV rounds, wearing purple to every interview. She's in New York there with the cast of the color purple. You could go to her Instagram and see it. So Oprah tells people a doctor prescribed the meds to her following her Life You Want series, The State of Weight, taping back in July, where she realized she wasn't to blame for being overweight. Nothing is what noted it was more about the brain than willpower. With a new mindset, Oprah says weight loss meds are a healthier alternative for her rather than yo-yo dieting, and she takes the medically approved drug as and when needed. Okay, Oprah. Case in point, she took them just before Thanksgiving because she knew she had 2 weeks of solid eating. It's okay, Oprah. And as a result, she only gained 0.5 pound rather than 8. I can't with her right now. This comes in stark contrast to Oprah labeling weight loss drugs such as Ozempic and Mounjaro as an easy way out earlier this year in a chat with the Weight Watchers CEO. You see how these celebrities be playing in our faces? She just told everybody earlier this year, you being a punk if you take these weight loss meds. Do Weight Watchers. And then at the end of the day, she did it. She hasn't specified the exact meds she takes, though many health professionals have warned against most of them due to significant side effects. But for all, it looks like a much welcome solution to her weight loss. What about Oprah, Robin? And her
What about Oprah? I will start here by saying I'm really happy that she decided to tell the truth instead of her truth.
Oh, sure.
Mostly because her reputation has been built on her being a truther and putting things out there, and that's good and fine, but for that being her her brand, I would say it's none of our business if it's Munjaro, Wygovie, whatever the other third one, whatever. It's her business. But I will say this: Oprah has struggled with her weight her entire life, adult life for sure, that we have seen.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen all the different ups and downs, and if this works for her, it works for her. God bless her. She looked good. She got her new knees. Let her do her thing. It's not for us. I'm hoping that she feels okay. And the bottom line is there are so many interventions in the year 2023 that didn't exist in 1883 when it was only diet and exercise. And now we have the medical interventions that range from gastric bypasses and sleeves to now this medication, which was, wow, discovered to be useful in her weight loss journey. I also want to say, I'm certain that part of her coming clean had everything to do with her ownership in the Weight Watchers program.
Mm.
And many people are successful with that, but there are some people who, no matter how much they diet and exercise, use portion control, they just cannot get over that hump and lose those pounds. Good for her. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. What she eat don't make me fat. We know what she ate made her fat, and now she's handling her business. Go ahead, Oprah.
Okay, thank you, Robin. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I believe people should be a firm believer of telling your truth, okay? And your truth should be the truth,
Oh, come
okay?
on now.
Don't
Uh-huh.
make me have to call you out later because nobody was believing, and I do mean nobody, was believing that she lost the weight by herself. She was on Weight Watchers for years and she lost maybe 10, 15 pounds, okay? We weren't believing you got skinny girl skinny from just dieting and exercising.
Mm. Well, there it is. The Don, you're up.
I first want to say Oprah looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, First, just want to say that uh, these new um, drugs, medications, like Robin said, the gastric sleeve, the bypass,
Mm-hmm.
they are being now given to patients readily for how can I say this? Because doctors don't want to see their patients die.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're not, it's like they want to give these other options rather than a bunch of other medications.
Yes.
I know it at my job, I work for a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and the bypass and the sleeves are a part of our health care.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them done for free.
Oh, wow. Wow. Mm-hmm.
So and a lot of people have taken advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um because the blood pressure, the diabetes,
Yes.
a lot of things come with, and it's let me preface it, that those things are not just fat diseases. You can get those being thin too, but
Better
they're more
talk.
commonly with the heart disease with bigger people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they decided to offer those things. So with our health care, you have
Mm-hmm.
to go through a few things. You have to go through some testing. But I know quite a few people that have gotten those things and have been successful and have kept the weight off. So I just wish Oprah would have been up in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and told us what she was doing and how she was doing it. I do believe she was doing Weight Watchers, but Weight Watchers took her to a certain plateau,
Right.
and that wasn't the goal that she wanted. She wanted to get a little further, and she needed a little more help.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Ozempic is doing amazing things for people. I think some people are taking it too far.
Mm-hmm.
But she looks good. She's not too small. She still has a little bit of meat on her bones.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats, Oprah. But just be 100 up front.
Be 100 up front, because people are believing in you. They're buying the products that you are selling, right? Because she's a Weight Watcher ambassador. And you're right. Here's the thing. Yes, doctors want to save lives, right? And there are conditions that can be that can go away as a result of certain things. And like you said, that's why, they do the sleep, they do the this, they do the whatever. They do what they can for these patients that really, really need it. But then you have, unfortunately, people, that would be like me saying, give me Ozempic or give me the sleeve. Do you see what I'm saying? But there are some people who they're they they could do other things, and they're getting these medications and stuff, and then it's going left. And unfortunately, for those, I mean, here's the thing. If you are in a position where it could be like, when I used to watch that show, I think it was My 600-Pound Life. I used to just love the doctor because he was just so crazy to me, right? When you're at that point, we got to do something drastic. You probably definitely will benefit from the Ozempic or the sleeve or the whatever. And then there's some other people where the doctors are giving it to them, and I feel like they probably don't really, they shouldn't. I'm trying to do sensitive with this. Like, they don't really need it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, my sweet babies, Monique wouldn't never, and she's eating right and doing her workout. But see, when you do clownery with other people, the clown bites. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. Tom B. Fair in 84. I appreciate you. Okay, so where are we at? Savannah, you're up.
Hey Diva, hey panel. I like you can't wait to go see Color Purple. I am looking forward to its debut on Christmas, and uh, this reminded me of a quote from Benjamin Franklin. It takes many good deeds to build a good reputation, and only one bad
Woo!
one to lose it. And Oprah is more than just a person. She's a whole brand. She's a conglomerate. She's an empire. I mean, we that know Oprah from her beginnings in Chicago has seen her struggle with her weight and her being uncomfortable at her heaviest, and it has done some unhealthy things. So in order to lose weight, before she became a brand ambassador for Weight Watchers, and our reputation represents the way others look at us, and as such is critically important, to be honest. So I mean, us that know Oprah knew that she didn't lose that the healthy way. And but I agree with the Don in the panel. She does look great. She looks amazing. She looks healthy. I see the women on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I see how they, by using this drug, have lost the weight. Although I've always thought that they were a thin, but a healthy thin, and now some of them do not look healthy, in my opinion. But I fear that we don't know enough about this drug in the long run, what it's going to do to our bodies, and the research isn't there. So it's a risk that that many are taking just to have a temporary high of looking good right now. And she does look good, such as the other women. But I just think that Oprah should have been honest in the beginning, because she has much more to lose. And just trust and being honest is always important. And someone as Oprah, in her big old age, she should have known better.
Come on now. Thank you so much, Savannah. Brandon, I appreciate you, and thank you for the super chat. Keep delivering great content, Diva. I appreciate you and everyone on the panel. Don't let the haters get you down. They ain't gonna stop us. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. E, you're up.
So I may have missed the beginning. Did you say that she had surgery a while ago, or she was doing Ozempic a while ago, or she just started?
No. She when she lost the weight, she said that initially she said she gave us her workout routine, how she was doing the treadmill in the morning, day and night, and she started eating right or whatever. She never used any medications. I don't know who or what got in her ear, because literally she just said that on Monday. I mean, I might have just did a video on Monday where she was 10 toes down that she did not use medications. And here we are, it's only Wednesday. And she's saying, yes, I did. Because also Weight Watchers came out and said that they had added medication to their routine and regimen because they realized that people need a mixture of several things in order to lose weight. So I don't know if the Weight Watchers adding that message is what made her come out. I'm not sure, but go ahead.
Well, see, I don't have a problem with that. And when I heard that initially, that was going to be my commentary, because in my experience, I've battled with weight since middle school. I've been weight conscious since middle school. I was a juicy girl growing up in elementary school, and I began to slim out towards the 7th grade up to senior year. I ran track, and my weight distribution just changed as I got older and went through puberty. But I remember as I began to slim out, I felt I was too small on the top and too round on the bottom. And up to like my mid-20s, I was like a size 2. And then as I approached my 30s, I began to get bigger. And then I got to the biggest I've ever been, which is a size 8. But the weight was hard to put on when I wanted it, but it was even harder to lose when I wanted to get back down to my high school weight. I say all that to say I tried all kinds of diets and medications, and in addition to working out, and working out was my least favorite. But the point is, not one thing worked. And I believe I heard someone earlier say this. It was a combination of all 3 things. It was my diet, the medication, and working out and configuring a regimen that worked for me where I could be consistent. That was when I saw results. And so I think because I know Oprah is 70, she's getting up there. And I think in our younger years, we are taught to stay clear of medications and do it the natural way, and there are going to be side effects. And I think the older you get, it's kind of like, I'm going to do this, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And so I don't have a problem with what Oprah did. I do think it is great to be honest and forthcoming with people when you're selling a product, but it's no different than the girls who go and get their bodies done and then say, okay, I'm starting anew. I'm drop it with Drew. Shout out to Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, I'm going to get my body done now. I'm going to start a program, and I want you to buy into it. So I think that is the new wave that people are doing. Nowadays, it's not right, but I do think that's just what's going on. And I'm glad that Oprah has found something that works for her. She does look great, but is it realistic for everybody who aspires to have Oprah's look and Oprah's transformation? Maybe not. And that's where false advertising comes in. So I encourage people to do their homework before just looking up to these people and buying into a program just because there's a popular face on the package.
That's a message. That's a message. Leo, you're up.
I agree with E. I am also a person that has struggled with my weight, and I'm very cautious in giving my commentary on this because I'm not quite sure how it's going to be taken. But just like her, I was a chunky girl. I got into my 20s, figured out a regimen for myself, and slimmed down and was down weight for like 20 years. But once I went into menopause, my regimen that I had then no longer worked.
That part.
So it is difficult. And I don't subscribe to weight loss medication either, but I'm not going to rule it out. It's been suggested to me by my doctor, and I have chosen not to thus far. But everybody got to choose their own path for their weight loss journey. So I'm not going to knock another person's journey. I'm not going to knock another person's path that they choose. And so I would say this. I would say that she probably was fearful to admit the fact that she had took weight loss drugs because her whole thing was never to take weight loss drugs. That was her whole thing. And then July, she had been doing it. And come December, she's still trying to stand on no weight loss drugs. That's her thing. So she had to finally admit that. Everybody ain't perfect. Everybody chooses the wrong path at certain times. I'm glad she admitted and told the truth. I'm not going to knock her journey because it might be mine one day if I can't get this weight off.
Woo! I appreciate you. We try to keep it as well as we can over here. Jonah, thank you so much for the super chat. If we dissected the word diet, did I eat that? I like this. It's the first time I ever saw this. Don't I eat that? Okay, we will all lose weight. Just being aware of what we consume, right? So I think probably we all, I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say probably a lot of people have struggled with their weight. There was times where, I always was a certain a number on the scale for many years of my life, right? And even if I begin to go in one direction, all I had to do was one little thing. And then I would be able to go back to, wherever I needed to go to in terms of my weight or whatever the case may be, right? Well, then I got to menopause. And those same things I used to do did not work. You got to figure it out. The only thing I will say is this. I'll say that when you are an influencer or you're in a position like Oprah, you know your words matter, right? You know what you do matters. And you know that you're selling things and people are looking up to you, so forth and so on. So for you to sit there and say, oh, no, I wasn't, and then have to come out and say, yes, I was, that kind of matters, right? And the problem I'm having, if you ever want to know, watch a good documentary on what is that, on prescription medications. What is the name of that darn documentary? It was on Netflix. What is it called?
Painkillers.
Painkillers.
Yep.
Painkillers. See, the problem I have, because just like you, Leo, my doctor offered me Wegovy, same thing as Ozempic, right? The problem I have with these drugs, they're getting kickbacks, and these freaking people, they do not tell you all of the nasty, dirty side effects that come with it. They don't tell you that when you get off these meds, all the weight that you enjoyed, that you lost, it will come back with a vengeance. That it is no different than doing a yo-yo diet and you are dependent on that medication. And the medication is expensive, right? And so they will get you some coupons in the beginning, but then after you lose all the weight and the coupons go away, what are you to do? Felicia, you're up. All right, I see you back. I see you down there. I'm loving the view. Do you want to come up? You got to let me know. Only I can, yes, a thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to let you up. All right. Felicia, you're up.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. So, I have, no, you don't know this, but I have followed Miss Winfrey's career for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Diva.
And she's always been on the heavy side.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how she's made her money. And her coming forward now means she's going to probably make more money. She's probably going to endorse whatever drug this is that she's taking. It probably made her an offer that she couldn't walk away from.
Oh.
I am just tired of these frauds out here. For my young sisters in the back row, don't believe the hype. Walk away from all of this BS that they're giving you in the media. It is a fact, particularly for women, because when, the Don came up, he ain't say nothing about being heavy when he was younger. In his middle age, he got skinnier. Now, this is all about women. How women are constantly treated as you're not good enough. You're too thin, you're too fat, you're too slow, you're too fast, You too old, you too young. I am so done with all of this reconfiguring of women. And when I go to work and have to ride the train, generally there's 3 people who can sit in the seat. But 2 men with big bellies, big fat thighs, they're not up here trying to take no damn Ozempic. They're not running to the gym. They're fat, they're out of shape, they buy a bigger sweatsuit, and they still trying to pick women up on the street.
You better talk, Felicia.
That's what they're doing. I'm not saying don't look your best. I'm not saying not invest in yourself. But you just said something so relevant. They give you the coupons free in the beginning. Then you're committed.
Come on now. You better come on.
Find out your insurance is not going to cover it.
Talk.
So what's going to happen? Well, I'm not going to give up my appointments for my nails. I'm not going to give up the appointments for my hair. Let me see. Where can I get some money from? Oh, I'm going to maybe pass on the rent. Oh, maybe I won't get the kids into that program. All because we're trying to look good for these old, beat up, fat, unemployed, can't even pay the light bill men. I'm done. So done. I'm looking forward to 2024. And for Miss Winfrey, I am disappointed.
Come on now.
She might have, they probably approached her. You can make money with Weight Watchers and do the dope. And she gonna do it.
Whoa, you know what? You brought a whole nother perspective in there, and I agree with you 100%. Because that was just a quick turnaround from being 10 toes down of me being on the treadmill, this, that, and the other.
Ooh. Nobody from the treadmill company was asking her to do an endorsement.
You better talk.
Okay. And it seems like you can never have enough money.
Apparently not. You better talk. Can I say this too? Okay, so here's the thing too with the sleeves and the and all of that too. Can I tell you how many of those individuals, if you really want to know the facts, and I'm not listen, I'm not knocking anybody who got it. I got people in my family who got it. But can I tell you that a lot of those individuals
gain all the way back?
Come on, Leo. Come on, Leo.
I've seen it 100 times.
Come on. Gain all the weight back. And you want to know why? Because if you don't change your mindset about the food, you could get cut, you could get a shot, you could take a pill. But if you don't change your mindset about having a different relationship with the food, it's going to come back. And they don't tell you all of that. There are doctors out there, when you get those weight loss surgeries, you're supposed to go through counseling. You're also supposed to go to a nutritionist. And a lot of them will try to have you lose a certain amount of pounds before they do the surgery, and they're only doing that to get you in the mindset. I know a family member had the surgery, came out, tried to eat some fried chicken, vomit their brains out, was back in the hospital on IV and all of that because their mind wanted the fried chicken, but their body said no.
They be sick as a dog, Diva.
Come on now, can we tell the truth here?
Sick as a dog.
Yeah. And I know, Lorraine, there's a side effects for every drug. And see, here's the thing I want people to understand. If it's hitting your home, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. I'm telling the truth. I worked in the hospital. I saw the whole floor with the weight loss surgery and the people coming out wanting hoagies, telling their family members to sneak it in because their minds still want it. They eat it and they're done. Busting stitches and all. If you don't change your mindset, and I'm not knocking nobody, I'm telling y'all because I done it. I've been there, done that. Friends called you, girl, you heard about this diet here? But if we're going to educate each other, we can't get sensitive about the education. Yes, every med has a side effect. But if you want to take a med where maybe you could do something different and it ain't necessary, why go there? There's somebody that just a celebrity just went to the hospital because the what I forgot was backed up in her off of that Ozempic. Is rupturing stuff in people, doing all kind of crazy stuff. But they're not going to tell you all that. All they're going to tell you is take this so you can get skinny. And then what's happening? Their bank account is getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Y'all better watch that documentary Painkillers, because replace it with Ozempic, replace it with Wegovy, replace it with any med. When these pharmaceutical reps go to that doctor office, they're like, you know what? Prescribe this. Here's some coupons. You're going to win. You're going to be rich. They're going to get rich. And their patient is going to get sicker and sicker and sicker. So now I give you the Ozempic. Now you can't have proper bowel movements. You coming back to me, but you enjoying your weight loss. Don't worry. Keep your Ozempic. Let me give you a prescription now for this so that you can move your bowels. Now you're moving your bowels. You got that prescription. Now it done got too loose. Don't worry. I got another prescription. Take that so it'll tighten back up your bowels. By the time you're done, you don't have 17 prescriptions to correct what prescription number 1 done did to you. Now, if y'all want to talk, let's talk. Where am I at? Who am I up to? Who didn't go? Savannah, did you go? Okay, I'm up to you.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, go ahead, Chanel.
I have a difference of opinion, per usual. So there's 3 points I want to make. Okay, so the first one is I have an autoimmune disease, and I didn't know I had it as a child, but one of the major or side effect, whatever it is, one of the major things with that is my metabolism is really slow. So it's sort of like Diva and everybody on the panel is driving the car and they go 80, I go 10. So it makes it very difficult for me to lose weight, no matter if I exercise like a beast, no matter what I'm eating. So I'm only saying that to say, to just give people some perspective. I'm certain, because in my family, certain people will say things. I didn't know I had this disease or whatever the case may be growing up. And I wasn't fat. I was like 140 pounds in high school, 135 pounds. But everybody else was like 119. So, it's just a very big difference. But anyways, there were people in my family thinking, and I'm sure people in the world thinking, oh, she just doesn't want to exercise. She's just lazy. She's just eats too much, whatever. And that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. So I'm just saying, sometimes just because it seems or looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that it's that way. That's my first thing. Or that it's what you're thinking it is. I'm not saying that's the case with Oprah, because I get what you're saying about her. She's a public figure, and on some level, people are always going to be in your business, no matter what you do. The second thing I just wanted to bring up, because I actually went to the doctor last week about this. My husband takes Ozempic, not for weight loss or anything like that, because my understanding is it regulates diabetes or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. So when I went to the doctor, I was like, my husband takes it, and all these people in Beverly Hills, they all skinny, right? And he's not skinny, but he's like a healthy weight. You know what I'm saying? He's like a normal weight. He exercises or whatever. So to me, I'm still confused as to what is going on with the people, the celebrities that we see. Like, what are they getting extra? She couldn't really explain it to me, so I'm still dumbfounded about how that works. But the last thing I will say is, I just feel like, I think it's, I know I'm going to get whatever in the comments, but it's perplexing to me that why people think Oprah or any celebrity owes them any type of explanation for what they're choosing to do with their body. Now, don't get me wrong. I hear what you're saying. On one hand, if Oprah is still a public figure and she's doing whatever she's doing with her life or her weight or whatever to her body, I don't think she has to tell anybody anything. I think the problem comes into play when people lie about what they're doing. So I think, to y'all's point, I think most of the people on the panel, I think y'all feel this way, sort of like, well, why are you telling us that, you're exercising and that's how come you have a six pack, when in reality you got surgery or you got the Ozempic or you got the whatever? That to me is it's misleading. It's a whole slew of words that is. So it's irresponsible on some level, but it is what it is. I do think that listen, like I said, I'm not really impacted. Like, I'm not traumatized by the fact that people think whatever they think about me, about what I eat or what I don't eat and all that. I'm not, but I do remember growing up thinking a certain way because I would get compared to my cousin who's like a size 5, but I'm a 9. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know. All those years I had all these symptoms and I just didn't know. But anyways, my point is, if I'm impacted on some level by what, my cousin or my mom, whomever may have said, I can't imagine what Oprah is thinking about. And I say that to say this. If she says, I feel like she's caught in a bag. Because if Oprah comes out and says, I'm taking Ozempic and this is why I'm losing weight, I can promise you, there's going to be a whole category of people over here talking about, she's taking the easy way out. She doesn't want to work hard, whatever. If she keeps it to herself, then people are like, see, she's over there lying. And I'm not saying that, like I said, I agree with misleading people is wrong, but I don't necessarily agree that she owes us anything. I feel like, why are we mad? Not us, but I'm just saying the general public. It's like, let that lady, I don't care. I just personally feel like, let people do what the hell they want to do. I don't agree with the misleading part, but it is what it is. I just think that she's in a no-win situation. She's going to get attacked no matter which way. So I feel like she's just like, I know this part of the zoo. I know how these animals are going to act. And I'm going to just keep this to myself. But if she does that, then she's still ridiculed. So I just don't know if there is a way for her to win, But I do think that celebrities, well, one, I don't think celebrities are responsible for having the public do or don't do something. I just don't think that. But I do understand that many people, I've never been this person. Many people will read a magazine and be like, oh my God, I'm not so skinny, I want to look like her. That ain't never been me. But so I do understand, even if it's unintentional, even if Oprah said nothing, somebody might view whatever's happening with her and her body as something they want to do, if that makes sense. And they may assume, well, she's doing this, that's what I'm going to do, But at the end of the day, I know I've said this multiple times on this platform. We all humans have the same organs. Our bodies work and operate the same, but
they don't.
Hmm?
Our bodies don't operate and work.
What I'm saying is our organs, their functions are the same. The reason I'm saying that is, you could have 2 sick people with the same disease. You give one person a treatment plan, they get better and go on about their life. You give another person the same treatment plan and they die or they get worse or whatever. So that's what I mean by that. It's not, that's why they say they're practicing medicine, because it's not a what's the right word?
I guess I want to circle you back, Nikki.
Okay.
The real situation here is, I don't think people, we always want to go to, let's not judge. We're not judging. We're going by their words, right? Over here, I really don't put 2110. I pull up what they said and what they did, and we have a discussion on that. Oprah one day came out and said, no way, not me. I would never take Ozempic. I would never do XYZ. And she, out of her own mouth, gave her regimen of going on the treadmill in the morning, eating right. Before dinner, she do the treadmill again, and so forth and so on. And her brand is built off of the backs of people believing and buying into her brand.
I get it.
Because Oprah's favorite things every year and gives coupons.
I'm not playing with you.
To buy these favorite things. No, I'm being serious here. She does the Oprah Book Club because she wants us to go out and get these books. So you can't 1 minute be the person that wants us to follow you, buy into your brand, and go get these things. And then you want us, so of course, when you come out and say, oh my God, like Oprah did this, let me get up, do the treadmill in the morning, do the treadmill before dinner. That's a lot of working out that you are indirectly promoting people to do. When in the meantime, back at the ranch, you taking some type of medication to lose this weight. It's not fair to the people. Don't manipulate the people and want them to buy into your brand when you selling something, and then later on saying, I ain't your role model, I'm not that girl. Don't be looking at me like that.
I just want to, I'm not in any way saying anyone on this panel is judging.
Right.
I'm not even saying I'm not coming from a place of judgment, and I don't think you guys are either. And I do think the part that you guys are talking about is more geared towards don't give people false information and pretend that it's something else. I can understand that. But the only reason I shared what I had going on is because I know that people will look at someone who's overweight and be like, oh, she's just da 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 da. And that's all I was saying. I'm saying it's not all weight. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but sometimes it isn't. And that's the only thing that I'm saying. You can think whatever you want.
Let some other people in.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, you're fine. Julius, you're up.
Pressure, public pressure. Why she just had to say she takes a medication. Oh, first and foremost, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I know that's always an issue, like in the chat. Yeah, public pressure. She looks terrific. I don't know what she has going on health-wise. If whatever weight loss medication, may it be Ozempic or Wegovy, if it helps her and if she's still doing the Weight Watchers program. Like I say, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But if it helps, good for her. I mean, I'm not gonna say don't do it, because I've seen the benefits of weight loss surgery. People in my family, my sister being one of them, have benefited from it. And they don't do anything crazy. They eat in moderation. But like everyone is saying up here, it is a mindset change, and you have to want it. And I think like eating in moderation would help. And if it doesn't, then the surgeries can be down the line, or the medication can be down the line. Yeah, I mean, she should have just said it straight out. Yeah, I do take a weight loss medication. That's why, But I did connect with Nikki. I did agree what she was saying. And she, like the saying goes, she's darned if she didn't, she's darned when she did. It's like a two-edged sword. So, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you, Julius, but the truth always works. Shan, you're up.
Hello.
Hey.
I started doing the Candace hello. Okay. So honesty is always the best policy, period, right? But I'm not going to go too hard on Oprah, because diet, weight loss, weight gain is such a sensitive topic. And I don't trust these celebrities anywho, because I remember 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23. All I saw was these gigantic butts on Instagram, right? Like all these BBL Central, Kim Kardashian, all of them. And now everybody's skinny. I woke up. So what I would tell people is to not really take these celebrities too seriously. Because 1 minute it's these big butts, then it's like, okay, skinny is in, then this is in, and that is in. Just like love yourself how you are. But I can understand it being a sensitive topic to where Oprah didn't want to, disclose that information. Because like Julia said, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But I don't like misleading people. So I think that's where she went wrong. It's like these girls with the BBLs. They're like, oh, I go to the gym and that's how I got these.
Come on now.
No, you didn't.
Right.
But I'm not going to go too hard on her because I know it's a sensitive topic. And then there's the other side of weight, where there's people who are super underweight, right? Like, like me growing up, I was super skinny. Like, I wouldn't eat nothing. And you would think I wasn't getting dinner at home, like, but I was just super picky. Like, I would not eat nothing except Oreos, right? So I had to go to the doctor, drink Pediasure and all these things to gain weight. Even now, I have a fast metabolism. It's like, so you have other people who are like, it's hard for them to gain weight and they're like super underweight. So it's just a sensitive topic. But I'm not surprised, because all these celebrities, it's just like, selective outrage, and I don't trust what they're saying. But because, like I said, just to clarify, because weight is such a sensitive topic, I don't really fault her because I think it's so personal what you do for your body and what works for you. But she looks good. Somebody said she was 70. I was shook.
She does look good, but she has, I think Savannah said it best. The concern is more her refusal to be honest in the beginning. Okay, Oprah is a whole brand and holds that power of persuasion. I agree with her. You, Savannah, you're saying what I didn't get out so elegantly, and I appreciate that. All right, we got a responsibility. Like, you know, even me on this low end, I got a responsibility what I blurt out on this platform. I can't be telling people go over there and do XYZ to XYZ. That's messy. Very messy. You have to be careful when you're in certain positions of what comes out your mouth. Jonah, thank you so much for the super chat. The criminal regarding this matter is fried children, fast food, processed food, Pepsi, lack of vegetables. And you speaking facts. We got to talk about it. Anything that hits home for us, we stay in the emotions and we can't get educated because we're afraid that we're going to offend somebody and step on the line. And the fact of the matter is, I think probably many of us have dealt with this weight thing in one shape, way, form, or the other, because it's always in our face. You know, back in the you know, the non, like I'm gonna say, you know, social media age where everything was on the phone. The reason why those supermarkets have the magazines at the checkout, because while you were standing to wait to get to be checked out of any, you know, given supermarket or whatever, you're staring at these magazines. And what's on the cover? Darn near, for lack of a better word, the perfect person. What do a lot of these magazines, they're going to tell you how to lose weight before Thanksgiving. Did you eat up around Thanksgiving and Christmas? Don't worry. Here go the New Year's plan. By summer, you'll be thin and trim. And listen, I'm telling y'all because I've been through it. I promise y'all this. I told you I love talk shows, and then I'm about to move on to the next topic. I love talk shows. Can I tell y'all, I probably been to Dr. Oz about 10 times, and I was on about 5 of Dr. Oz weight loss programs. I promise you, no lie. If you could Google old shows, I promise you I was on about 3 of them or 4, probably even more. I stopped counting. Every time they needed a volunteer for some exercise program, I signed up. I don't know if y'all can see me right over there next to Dr. Oz. He did these.
Diva, you on TV? Oh snap!
I did about 4 or 5 of Dr. Oz programs. I promise you. I love Dr. Oz. But I only bring that up to say that, and I'm talking about years of them. I could go back where I was in one, I'm going to say 19, I don't know. Anyway, I did a ton of Dr. Oz, okay? So I say all that to say, I get this weight thing. But I also say this. Watch when they pushing these meds on you. Do yourself a favor. I promise y'all this. Watch that movie Painkillers on Netflix. And it will change your mind about these medications. And then what's going to happen after a while with that Ozempic? And matter of fact, when they give it to you, they start you off with a very low dose. And then week by week, they go up and up. And do you know what a lot of people say? After a while, they have to remind themselves to eat. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Remind yourself to eat. You know it's a little problematic when you straight up on a daily basis got to remind yourself to eat. I'm not saying I know everything. We just trying to help each other over here. Now let's move on to the next subject.
Can I say one last thing?
You can say last thing, but I want to say this. You know what, Felicia? I think you hit the nail on the head. She got an endorsement, but go ahead.
And what I was thinking, what I think the problem with us as a society and our judgment, we just think, okay, if someone's overweight, they're unhealthy. And if someone's really skinny, they're healthy. It's like, I've seen it so many times where it's like people who are maybe on the heavier side, they'll go to the gym, they'll eat right. Like my sister, she has asthma. So she gets steroids for the asthma, right? And a big side effect of the steroids is weight gain. So she'll gain all this weight, but she really tries to live a healthy lifestyle. So I feel like we got to get that out of our head where we think it's like black and white for all the things when it comes to weight.
I don't think it's, I think that many people are a little bit smarter than that. They know it's not black or white. But I will say this, that one doctor said, you know, and I'm not saying people should eat lettuce all day. I'm not saying that. But to his point is, if you eat the right foods, no matter what, you know, you're not going to be but a certain size, right? But I'm not going to go there. We're going to move forward. And the next topic is Tiffany.
And I'm not saying that's what you were saying. I'm just saying as a
I
society.
know. I'm listening. You know, I don't get
clarify.
sensitive over here.
We connecting.
We're connecting. I don't catch feelings, right? We're going to keep moving. So let's move on, right? But Oprah do better and just tell the truth. Okay. So let's move on. Tiffany Haddish, you know, got arrested with the second DUI. Now they're saying that Tiffany, she can't drink, she can't do nothing, and she gonna have to get tested. Hold on one second. They running her life now. She can't even have no wine in her house, because if they call her for a test, I don't know, she in trouble. Tiffany Haddish is going through it. Tiffany Haddish charged in LA with a DUI. Tiffany Haddish has been charged in her latest DUI arrest after she got busted for drinking and driving following a night out in the Beverly Hills last month. The actress case is under review by the LA District Attorney's Office, and they decided to charge her with driving under the influence of alcohol and driving with a 0.08 blood alcohol level. Is that high? Somebody let me know.
Yes, she was drunk as a skunk.
Oh my gosh. Woo! TMZ broke the story. The actress was found slumped at the wheel in Beverly Hills, blocking the road with her car. Not blocking the road. But let's give it to Tiffany because she went quietly. Look at her. Hold on one second. She didn't contest. They should give us some points for this. She just waited. Go ahead. She know how to bend down because this is not her first time getting arrested. She was being good. She got in. All right, Tiffany, I'm giving you points for that. I hope the LAPD does also. Okay. She was booked for DUI and improper stopping on the road, but less than 24 hours later, she was back on stage performing down in Long Beach, not resisting a quick quip about her arrest, right? However, Tiffany quickly changed her tune, getting serious about the arrest, especially as she already has a DUI case in Georgia stemming from January 2022. In fact, in light of her Cali case, Georgia prosecutors are pushing for stricter restrictions on her, wanting to modify the bond conditions from her open DUI case there to restrict her from using booze and drugs completely. Now, by the way, if Tiffany is convicted on both of these offenses, both California and Georgia have laws that require jail time. Oh my gosh. For a second offense in California, the minimum is 4 days. In Georgia, it's 3 days. Well, that's not bad. That's the minimum, though. Tiffany since told ET she needs to get help to learn balance and boundaries, adding, "This will never happen again." Tiffany, we're rooting for you in the name of Tyra Banks. So far, so good, as Tiffany recently rang in her 44th birthday, aka next chapter in life, without a lick of booze in sight. Well, come on now. Holla for Tiffany. I'm rooting for her. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I'm tired of Tiffany. I really am. So I ain't got nothing else to say for her.
Thank you. The Dawn.
Uber, Lyft, taxis.
Yeah.
at some point you have to, be accountable and responsible. Um, I just never understood the purpose of knowing that you are intoxicated and still attempting to drive.
Ooh.
This is not her first encounter.
Mm.
This was her second encounter being caught.
Caught, exactly.
Ooh.
So I just, it's time for a change. Um, she's sinking, she's melting right before our eyes, and there were other options that she could have taken. Whatever happened to staying at home if you want to have a drink?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to go out and party and drink, but nobody wants to take a Uber home. If you know you're going to party and drink and have fun, Uber there and Uber home, or have somebody that's going to be a designated driver. Stop trying to do it on your own. Just be responsible. She's too old. She's not 21.
Yeah.
She's not 18. She's not in college.
Mm.
So yeah, Tiffany, you got to grow up. You're not on girls trip in real life.
Not on girls trip. Felicia.
Well, based on what I've read today, they said they don't want Tiffany drinking at home either.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to give her a test, and they're going to find out if she's consuming alcohol and if she's using this CBD. And she'll be allowed to take prescription drugs to whatever the limit is allotted to her by her doctor. But if I didn't hear anything about her license being taken from her,
Right.
So I guess you'll have to go ahead and open up a speakeasy somewhere and be down there drinking. Because listen, you tell me I can't drink my champagne, especially during the holiday season in my own home. We have a problem. And with her being so notable and everybody knows her, if she sip a drink, what, they gonna take a picture and send it to the courts? This is something I believe she should fight. Take my license. Don't take away my ability to drink if I'm home or I'm out and about. She's of the legal age. Or is this another precedent that they're trying to set for the court system? They have to keep feeding this monster, folks, this thing called the penal system. So they're going to have a whole lot of women in there for drinking, smoking that CBD, although it's legal, and for taking people's cell phones that ain't yours. Okay, I'm done.
We get to your boy. Leo, you're up. Not Dry House. Okay, now go ahead.
I'm with Felicia on this one, and as well as I'm gonna do hashtag have a heart. Hashtag have a heart.
Oh yeah,
Tiffany,
you didn't say that in a while. Okay, now.
You know what? Tiffany Haddish has been through it. Common, the man broke up with her through the text message, y'all. I think she is still suffering the repercussions of her going through this breakup with the man that she thought she was going to be with for life, because I really do believe she felt that way.
Yeah.
And so she got a drinking problem. And I think it is a emotion. She's emotionally drinking. I would not necessarily call her addict just yet. But one thing I do know about drunks that drive, no matter what you tell them, you can say, look it, you don't need to be behind the wheel, and they will snatch the keys out your hand and drive for sure. She got enough money to have a driving service. She ain't even got to do the Uber. She ain't even got to do the Lyft. She can sign a contract for the people, and all she has to do is say, hey, look, take me to this event and be at such and such a time to pick me up. I don't understand what's not connecting in her mind that you just got a DUI earlier this year. So why would you chance it and be out here drinking and swerving up and down the roads, endangering not just yourself but others?
Yeah.
You know, not just think about the misery that she probably is in and trying to use alcohol to be able to drown her sorrows, but think about the other people that's on the road.
Yeah.
That you will be endangering. I say hashtag have a heart for Tiffany Haddish. She going through it, but she needs to take responsibility. She says she's no longer drinking. I really don't believe that. I don't think that she needs to be held to account to the fact that she can't even drink. And I ain't never even heard of this. Like, even when you got to blow into your breathalyzer to crank your car up, they don't never say you can't drink at your own house.
Ooh.
If that was the case, then none of the drunks that I know would ever be, how you do that? Any of the drunks that I know, they still, once they do figure out they can't drive, they at the house somewhere popping back beers or whatever they do. So I'm not quite sure how the court is going to mandate that. But I had an old lady used to tell me the court system is all about giving the coins to the queen, and meaning that they want your money at all costs. And Tiffany Haddish might be getting set up to have to pay those people, because when you're on probation, you have to pay for your own probation.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do. You pay for your own when you're on probation, and there's some DUI that you've had, you pay the court. You pay the court for your screenings, for your alcohol screenings. Yes, you do. If you get a breathalyzer in your car, you pay the court for that.
The first time I seen that is in Bobby Brown and his show.
Yep, you pay the court for that. They're setting her up to get her in the system. I totally agree. They caught themselves a whale, right? I totally agree with Felicia. They caught themselves a whale. And if she don't have very good representation, she is getting ready to be caught up in the court system. And they want you showing up for court all the time.
Ooh. And then I wonder how they're going to do it, because she got one in Georgia and she got one in LA.
She going to be flying. She bi-coastal.
Oh, my gosh. All money.
Yeah.
All money. Now, I don't know if y'all seen these commercials. There's these commercials about drunk driving, but it's the lawyer. They show how you just living your best life. Then all of a sudden you get a DUI. How you got to pay $10,000 or $15,000. The commercial is crazy. But it's front. Yeah, how you lose everything.
Up front. Then you got to pay the lawyer, and they want their money up front before they even show up to court. They want their stacks.
My God, I cannot. You're up. And listen, when I say I have a heart for Tiffany, guys, of course I do not want a drunk driver on the road, but I do not. So I'm not saying that. But like Felicia said, they saying all of this, but they ain't say take her license. You need to take her license. You're up.
From my time working at the Superior Court, I can tell you the judge does have the bandwidth to order you to stop drinking, even within the privacy of your own home, if you are on probation. When you are on probation, the judge has the liberty to do a lot of things, because again, this is you avoiding jail time. Leo is right, and you pay for the probation. But Felicia has told us over and over and over again, it's not just about having a lawyer, it's about having a great lawyer, right? So if this is what the lawyer and Tiffany agreed to, for whatever the reason, I can't be mad at it. But in addition to the men leaving her, because I forgot about the men leaving until Leo said it, men come and go. But Tiffany has had a few rough years. And what initially stuck out in my mind was her messing with those kids, allegedly, whatever her role was. And ever since then, her career has taken a steep nosedive. And this woman has, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, my view, she's been trying to commiserate or drown out her sorrows or guilt or shame with this numbing juice. And as a grown woman, I'm not about to sit here and tell another grown woman that she can't have a sip of alcohol if she wants. That's not my plight. But what I will say is Tiffany is worth $6 million. There are people who only earn $1,200 a month and don't even have car insurance or a driver's license, and they still get from point A to point B on a daily basis. So having that much money, $6 million in resources, and still driving yourself around, that's kind of late to me, especially when you know that you're in no condition to move a vehicle. And how do you know you're in no condition to move a vehicle? If you have a pending case in Georgia and you have a DUI, odds are, if you're out drinking, you might not want to do that again. So I think it's something deeper in the mind as to why this has happened again. And maybe this is the wake-up call that is a part of her life lesson, the journey that she has to embark upon. It's something within her that is not quite healed, and there's something that she needs to get real clear on. And hopefully during this time of hopeful sobriety, she will find that clarity and that healing, and she will get herself together.
I appreciate you, E. You know what, Rainy Day? Now that you're saying this, I am being reminded of the facts. You are correct. People on probation are told to refrain from alcohol and drugs, right? I worked in the clerk's office in Florida for 25 years. This is not unusual for being required to abstain from alcohol while out on bond. Thank you for that information. We appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
So I have no grace for Tiffany. I and like he said, we have all been witnessing for the past 2 years a downward spiral of Tiffany and her career ever since the the incident with the children and Ari Spears. Tiffany has been um, just having this mental where she doesn't know. I've seen videos of her having rants while she's driving, and Tiffany has been going through something. Um, However, after the incident in Georgia, Tiffany does have the financial means to go into some treatment facility, which I thought she should have done even before the incident in Georgia. Once that video came out and she was severely affected, all these she lost all these endorsements and cancellation of shows, and people did not want to work with Tiffany. So she had the financial means to seek some type of treatment, in whether it be for her alcohol or for just for mental, because anyone going through that would need some type of mental support. But for if I heard you correctly, she was at a 0.08, which means there's muscle coordination becomes poor. That's balance, speech, vision, reaction time. It's harder to detect danger, and your judgment is poor. And your memory is also impaired. And although she went without incident, which was a good thing, this year alone in the state of California, there's been 1,100 fatalities due to DUIs, and that means there's 1,100 families that will not have their loved ones with them this holiday. And so I can't give her grace because she should have known better and has the means to do better. And many people do support Tiffany. I like her. I don't like her comedy, her style of comedy. I don't find her funny, but I do think she's a sweet person. I just think she's going through it. She supports a lot of her family monetarily, but Tiffany should have just known better, and we need her to do better. I'll pray for her, but I'm not going to give her no grace. I do believe that she needs to serve some time, whether it's in a treatment facility or just get some help.
Ooh, you said a lot there, right? 1,100 families. It's a lot. Chanel, you're up.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be 2 and 2 for disagreeing. No, I was just gonna say, one, I don't know if this lady has an alcohol abuse problem or whatever, but alcoholism is real, and you can't just stop just because you want to. I'm not saying that's what's going on with her at all. I'm just saying alcoholism is real. So to me, the problem that I have, I think, especially when you have the means, but even if you don't, if you're planning to go out and drink and party and do whatever you plan to go do, I just don't understand why you don't prearrange a safe way home. That's what I just really can't ever get past. But the problem that I have with her consequences, although I agree with consequences, I'm not saying she shouldn't go to rehab or jail or whatever. I 100% support that, because my point of view isn't about her. So the reason I have a problem with it is because our government knowingly, our law enforcement knowingly pack Dallas Cowboys stadiums with 30,000 people deep and serve them Budweiser after Budweiser after Budweiser. And
All
then
right, you talking. Okay, I'm
all,
sitting up. Go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, go on, listen.
And then they allow every single person, all those 30,000 fans, to get in their car. And I'm saying this because me and my husband used to go to lots of Texan games. And we don't really drink. I don't know how to drink. I try, but I'm unsuccessful. But no, I mean, I just sit there. These are the things I think about while I'm sitting there. Is that I'm just kind of like, so 30,000 people are about to exit here. And then they're all going to get in their vehicles.
Come on, talk.
And many of them have their children with them. And so I just don't understand how it just feels like it feels very hypocritical or like a double standard, because no different than me and my friends leaving work 5 o'clock. What do we go to? Happy hour. And everybody in there, I won't say everybody, many people in there are all consuming and partaking. And we knowingly let those people walk right out of the door unless there's something extreme going on, right? So it's like, oh, she fell down, or something where you could visually see this person is not okay to drive. And so I don't think this problem is ever going to be resolved, mostly because they tried it before and it didn't work. Like trying to make, what was it, prohibition or something? That being said, I really like Tiffany Haddish. I agree with the lady before me. I'm not into her comedy so much, but I like her story, how she overcame. And I just feel like situations like this can put you in a bad light with a lot of people that could give you a job later or whatever. And you just don't want to be in that box. And that's why I'm really sad for her. But that being said, I do hope she gets whatever help she needs and can overcome and and pull through. But I'm not nailing her to the cross. I certainly think people that drive drunk, should go to jail. I'm hard nosed on that, because you can't bring those people back.
Right.
One of my friends actually last year, her daughter was coming back from a game. Her daughter was coming back from a game, and I feel like her daughter's like 16, and she was riding in a car with some other young people, and a drunk driver hit them and killed 3 of them. Oh, I'm not supposed to say. Well, 3 people are no longer here. It gives me chills just thinking about it, because those 3 lives matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they just trying to go home and they didn't even make it. So that's why I personally feel you should go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I understand. I'm saying these 2 cents. I'm so sorry to hear this. My condolences. Our 25-year-old son, who was on his way to work, was killed by a drunk driver who had multiple DUIs. I'm connecting. Today is our son's birthday, so I'll never sympathize with a drunk driver, especially a repeat offender. I'm connecting. I totally understand. And
God bless you, Sandy. 2 cents. God bless you.
Yeah.
So sorry for your loss, Sandy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the other side, everybody. That's the other side of this situation. But Nikki, sometimes we cross paths and we in different lanes.
You're not kicking me to the curb. You're gonna let me. I get to ride at the front of the train.
I understand what you're saying. A very good point to point out. At these venues, we are pumping people with the alcohol, and all of them, for the most part, are going to get in their car and drive home. I like that point. It's a good point. I gotta let that marinate in me.
And also, too, Diva, I do know this situation as well, and law enforcement let those people leave.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a standard unwritten rule
that
you don't bother them when they leave that venue. And I know this for a fact because my cousin is in law enforcement, and they are told not to bother them when they leave the 30,000 people venue. Now, when you leave the club down there to the bottom, or down there where the black folks is at, they can come and get you. But when you leave the venue, they are told not to bother you.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, and I believe what you said, Leo. Every single word. Sandy, 2 cents. I appreciate you, and I want to thank you for being brave enough to share your story, because you helping us see the other side of this, that is real and it's not right, and that once I get it, and I'm connecting. She said the drunk driver who killed our son had a bruise and didn't even know he'd been in an accident while our son was on the side of the road dead. That's the other side, everybody. And Sandy, 2 cents, again, my condolences. So sorry. Julius, you're up.
What can be said after hearing all of that? But that reminds me of a situation in my community. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
There was a young lady. Now she just had a traumatic family event earlier in the summer, but she was out celebrating her friend's birthday. And she had too much to drink in the establishment she was at. They know she had too much to drink. Unfortunately for her 2 babies, she's no longer here. And it was only her car in the accident. The establishment knew she was too impaired to drive. If folks have to be accountable for themselves, can we hold these establishments accountable too? Like, and it's just like the lady who just shared her story, losing her child to the drunk driver. That broke my heart. It makes me think of the young lady, because I think of her babies who are now motherless. It's a sad thing, but it's something we have to tackle as a society. And we have to start holding establishments accountable, saying, no, you're too impaired to drive. But yet, someone who says, now this is another thing that happened in my community. This person was drunk. He was kicked out. He walked. He ended up missing. He was killed.
Julius, because I gotta get to Robin still. I need you to bring it back in. What's about Tiffany? Go ahead.
My point is, I want to have sympathy for Tiffany, but I don't. Sorry for your loss, Sandy, 2 cents.
Yeah. And Sandy, we're praying for you. And I'm glad you got your release. Robin, you're up.
Yes, Sandy, I'm also really sorry for your loss. You have my condolences. I have to say, I don't condone any kind of impaired driving. The only question I have as relates to Tiffany Haddish is, because she is a repeat offender, from what we know, and when I say we, I mean me, I don't get the sense that she has a village. I feel like when I see her and have seen her, heard her stories, that she seems very isolated in general. And yes, we're on this live, we're told that she takes care of other people. I wonder who takes care of her. I think that the system is such, and it is being pretty tight with her. And if they can compel her to some kind of treatment, that would be for the betterment of greater society. But again, I don't condone it, but I'm hoping that she gets help, because it appears to me that she's been self-medicating in overdrive.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Let's get into this last story. I want to thank everybody for their conversation on this topic with Tiffany Haddish, who started the topic, but really it's the topic on, DUI, and understand both sides, and understand that once someone's life is taken, you cannot bring them back. And Savannah hit home. 1,100 families don't have their family member because somebody wanted to drink and drive. We have in our own chat here, which is our family, right? Sandy 2 cents here all the time supporting, and said, unfortunately, her son is not here because of someone who was driving impaired and didn't even realize they was in an accident. But now her son is no longer here. I appreciate all the conversation. We're going to move into this Jonathan Majors story. And it's about reputation, right? Putting your reputation is at line. So Jonathan Majors, he had some strong feelings about relationships, strong feelings about how, if you're in a relationship with him, how you should represent him. But do these feelings and the words that came out his mouth mean that he put hands on this girl and should be put in jail as a result of it? Well, time will tell. Not exactly sure when this case is going to kind of come to a close and the verdict is going to come in. But we've been hearing stories about a lot of things, and there's some videos that are out. Let me share a screen and show y'all some things, and then we'll talk. Now this, you're going to have to pay close attention. There is no sound. But for the most part, he is running away from her. So watch. That's their SUV at the light there. That's them getting out. That's him kind of putting her back in because he's like, you stay in. He want to send her wherever he want to send her. And he's trying to go. She gets out. They both get out. They're having a lover's quarrel. Do you see him running? She's grabbing him. He's running. They show that again to try to say that her head hit the top of that SUV as he was trying to put her back in. But you see, she's insisting upon getting out and following him. He's like, leave me alone. He's running. He pushed her back. Look at him running.
It's a full track meet. Like he
Come on now.
KSS.
Come on.
The 5 meter. Dang.
It's like old school cops and robbers.
Yeah. Look at him taking off. She keeping up though a little bit in them hills. Look at them. Don't even care about the cars. Look at her.
I give her that. She got
the
that.
car had to slow down. Now, if he was running after her, they would be putting 20 on 10 right now. What are they saying about her running after him? Why are you running after someone who beat you down?
Come on.
Now, do you see a gash on her head here? This is after the marathon. This is her.
This is the scene that
we saw before. We didn't know ahead of time though that she just finished this marathon, running after him. Look at him now. He's walking by, and look at her. She ready to go after him again.
Endorphins in full effect.
He telling her to go back, leave me alone. And she
That's what he
running
said.
again.
That's what he said. Stay where you was at. Don't be bothering me.
Come
That's
on, let's go.
That's what he told her. Now hold on now. And they just telling you there. That's the picture. That's Majors, Jonathan Majors. That's Grace. They just trying to tell you who's who there. But we saw it for ourselves. Running. That's the gash behind her ear, the alleged injuries. Now, this right here is in his home. This is the next day. Okay? She's in the closet. She don't got no clothes on. He saw her when he got back to the house. And he's the one that called the cops. And then he gets arrested. Because he suspected it was an overdose or suicide when he found her passed out in the closet. And the video shows him making this call as well, which he did from the lobby of his building. Once cops show up, he escorts them back upstairs to his unit. The video also shows him leading them right to her, and she's completely passed out in the closet. Now let's watch this. Beautiful home. That's him. Like,
That's
come
the
on.
police body.
He getting it because he knows she's not dressed. He grabbed a little something. He cares because he gonna cover her up. That's a penthouse for sure, boy.
A triplex.
Come on now. Be the realtors, Robin.
What you say? He said, I'm moving on up and up and up 3 times.
3 times.
Just ain't on the east side.
Mm-hmm. Covered up and said, there he is. They said, come on out. Let's see what's going on with her. Technically, they should have waited to the EMS.
Shouldn't even move her. Right. Come on.
I don't see no bruises in this video though right now.
I see her gathering some embarrassment.
Telling all kind of stories or whatever the case may be. That's allegedly where, she wants to say choked, and that's the finger injuries. Okay. Now wait, I want to show. Okay, which one is this? I want to show. Okay, I want to play the video. Hold on one second.
Oh, that girl is good.
She dangerous is what she is.
She's an actress.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Hold on, I just want to play. Let me see. Okay, why I find this other surveillance, because I want to play the video where he pretty much told her.
Look, this is the beginning
where he told her to be like Coretta. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. In the meantime, in my opinion, you can speak and let me find my other audio. Wait, I think I have it. Hold on one second. Give me 1 minute. I might have it here. Is this okay? Go ahead and talk. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of this one. Hold on, my opinion. I found one of them that I wanted to play.
New York City 911, you need police, fire, medical.
Hey, is it medical? Attempted suicide, I think.
What is the location?
252 7th Avenue.
All right, so that was 252 7th Avenue, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What apartment?
Penthouse D.
Penthouse D?
Yes.
As in David, right?
Yes,
this is in Manhattan or in Brooklyn?
This is.
Hello, sir?
Yes, ma'am, this is in
You're
Manhattan.
losing service, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay. It's in Manhattan.
All right. So this is Penthouse D. Just stay on the line, all right?
Okay, we'll do.
Penthouse D as in David. Don't worry about it. Speaking to me is not delaying anything. I just need some help, some information for the crew. They're already on the way, okay?
Oh, okay.
Let them go aside. Let me get them going. What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious. She's naked from the bottom down. She has a sweatshirt on. She's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages insinuating this much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning. I banged on the door. I've been at the apartment for about 40 minutes now. Just banging at the door. I couldn't get in. I finally went downstairs and asked the doorman to help us. And they let me in via the handyman.
All right.
Yeah. She's 30 years old. White, female.
All right. Does she suffer from anything prior to? Or no, she have a mental condition or history?
I would maybe say so. She has a history with.
What's her name?
Her name is Grace Caitlin Natasha Jabari.
Grace. All right. Do you know what she did or what she took, or you don't know?
No, I don't know. I just know she's unconscious.
All right. No problem, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get you over to the EMS. Do not hang up. All right. They're already en route. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Stay on the line. Hold on. Arrow? 639. 639. I'm 2880 for the job number 1749.
Hello, caller.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, this is 252 7th Avenue in Manhattan.
Yes, sir. Right over Whole Foods.
And the patient's breathing?
Oh, yes, sir. She is.
Okay, is she awake?
No.
And phone number for you, 214-601-9547.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Not releasing his phone number.
Now he got to change his number.
You're with her right now?
I've come downstairs to let the lobbyman know that you guys are on their way. So
they're going to be there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Obviously, if you could
What should I do? What should I do?
If you could just make sure the door's open, and when you get upstairs, she didn't fall and hit her head, anything that you know of, right?
No, I think I saw a cut behind her ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how he see that?
She's 30 years old.
Okay. So if you could just, when you get back upstairs, we just want you to keep an eye on her breathing. If she wakes up, we don't want to give her anything to eat or drink. Like I said, they're already responding.
I think they just walked in.
The ambulance crew?
Okay. I think this is the ambulance crew.
Is it the fire department?
I called them on with a good. I
think that's PD.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. That's the police?
I don't know what's going on. She's conscious, but she's trying to. Yeah. So folks, we just keep that confidential. Fella, this way.
So you're speaking to the cops?
Yeah, I'm assuming this is either our guy. I mean,
is it the police?
Girlfriend. I just got back home. Girlfriend.
Probably. Let me see if they're at the location. Sorry.
Since she's I'm leaving. I just need you to phone and say goodbye, Jonathan. There's no note. Just knowing what happened. For this way? Yeah, I finally got into the car.
Yeah, they're at low. The sergeant is at the location.
Okay, and just to confirm again, 252 7th Avenue, Penthouse D, between 124th and 125th in Manhattan?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Woo! How he see the cup behind her ear, but we're gonna carry on. Just one more thing I want to show y'all, and then we'll talk. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's taking a long time. Want to get there. We want to get there. We want to chat. Got a lot to say.
Hold on.
Period. This is period. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
And how dare you come home trying to disturb the peace of our house? And we have a plan. I would like to get to the point where your friends know what job I'm on and go, I think Grace is gonna be able to mention.
Yeah, I won't.
No, you understand that? Because that team, that unit, right? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. Okay? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
No, I'm not. I shouldn't have gone out. I'm
No,
sorry.
let me just lay it out for you, right? If I'm just gonna say this. My temper, my shit, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. That's real. I'm not being a dick about it. I didn't ask for it. I've worked, and that's the situation.
Jesus.
The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately. Last night, 2 nights ago, you did not do that. You did not do that.
I'm sorry.
Which took away from the plan. And the plan is everything. If it was just you in the house drunk, maybe I could have swallowed it. Or I would have felt bold enough like, oh, hey, let's go to bed. Which I said, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm not hungry, blah, blah, blah. Because Grace isn't here. Why? She was drunk. Why else? She was clogged by whatever was going on. You know what I mean? Fine. I can take that. Fine.
Ooh. Ooh.
Listen here. I told you. Grace is a psychopath. Okay? That lady is crazy. And that man, I'm telling you, he may have his faults, true enough, but we seen the video, okay? He trying to get away from her. Okay, I think that man said enough is enough. He done already schooled home girl. He said, I need you to be great so I can be a great man. Okay, she wasn't living up to the T. So he had to leave her alone. And that psychopath couldn't let him go. Okay. We saw her. She was running after him on the streets, running in between cars and everything. She put her own life in danger. And then when she couldn't get him, she went out partying with some strangers. Okay. Was smoking and drinking her life away. And we saw her bumping into walls at the club. Okay, we don't know where them scratches and cuts came from because we don't know what all she did at that club. Let me tell you something. I'm not finna throw that man away because he decided enough was enough. I am through with the trash and I'm taking it out. Okay, and Grace couldn't get it.
Ooh. The Don, you're up.
This story is twofold. First, you have the conversation that we just heard, and then you have the fox and hound chase that we just saw. The conversation was pathetic. Jonathan, if you wanted those qualities, you should have listened to your mom.
Come on.
Because I'm pretty sure she probably gave you a better example of those qualities. And it wasn't with this frail white woman.
Don, you mean look at your mama?
Yeah, that part too. Getting Megan Good was after the fact, was a day late, dollar short. You should have gotten this woman in the first place, because that's the type of woman you described to her. I don't know why you thought you was going to get that quality woman out of this woman who drinks and do all of this. 1 and 1 is not equaling 2 in this situation, Jonathan. So you're talking out the side of your neck. Now, when it comes to this chase, if somebody tells you they don't want to be with you, run the opposite direction. Don't run towards them.
Right.
She ran towards him literally. And I'm going to say something that may be controversial. When it comes to the cops, men are never the victim.
That's facts. That's facts.
And
That's
in
true.
this particular
Say it, Nadon.
situation, he was the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't see it that way.
That's facts.
They saw him as the aggressor.
Uh-huh.
They saw him as the one who started the situation because of this frail little poor white woman who was laying helplessly in his closet, naked from the waist down.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Even though he was the one who called the police.
Come on, talk.
You know, they came into the situation, they assessed the situation and took her side without her saying a word.
That's facts. Oh, you better talk. Let me sit up.
You know, we as a culture do that.
Yes.
All the time.
Uh-huh.
Even though he stated his facts to the operator.
Uh-huh.
And those facts were given to the cops.
Uh-huh.
The cops didn't take those words as, you know, they didn't take those words as heed. They took the poor little frail white woman. Word as heed. And they arrested him. She went about her merry way. And we have to stop assuming that it's always the man as the aggressor. Because when it comes to these cell phones, a lot of the time, it's the woman snatching the cell phone out of the man's hands.
Oh my gosh.
Because she seen a text message. She got upset about something that she saw and or heard. And she wants answers. I said this a few weeks ago. Hashtag keep your hands to yourself.
Somebody put that in the chat, please. Come on now. You better talk to the people.
If you can't trust your man and or your woman with a cell phone, you don't need to be with them.
Good gosh.
If you have to go through their cell phone and check their text messages,
you
don't need to be with them.
Right?
Your trust is in the toilet. So find somebody else or be by yourself. Because you may be the only person that you can trust.
Oh my gosh.
Whole factual word.
Woo! Y'all got this sermon on a Wednesday night. Woo, you ain't never lied right there. Keep your hands to yourself. You said a whole lot of factual stuff. They gonna believe her over him, and he called. You ain't never lied. If you gotta go through all of that, your relationship is in the toilet.
Listen, let me tell you something. Ever since the 2020, when we went through this whole cycle and we started seeing cameras pop up everywhere, I got a second cell phone. One to call the police and one to hold the other phone to hold and videotape just in case something happens.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
It's real in these streets. You got to protect yourself.
It's real, people. Protect yourselves. Well, I appreciate you, Don. Felicia, you up?
Well, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to remind everyone that this man is facing a year in jail.
Come on now, talk to the people.
The loss of his freedom because of a bad relationship.
Yeah.
I appreciate that tonight Opinion and the Don is up on this panel.
Okay.
I want to thank those two people for standing with me. The other six, Diva, Chanel, E, Leo, and Julius, well, whatever. So I heard
I was neutral.
Just hold on for me, Felicia. I'm coming.
No, I didn't call you in. You wasn't up here that night. I'm calling out who was up here that night. Now, Miss Bunny, is she in the chat? Because she said they need to take him off the street. Let's take that trash. Let me step up here with Opinion. Opinion, can I help you? take the trash to the dumpster.
Go ahead, Felicia. Preach, sister. Preach.
Okay, because I'm willing to do that. But everything tells me that trash got on a plane and is back in the UK, and we won't be seeing her again. Okay? But for those who went, because he knew there was a scratch on the back of her ear, here are the facts.
Okay.
She locked him out of that space that you see there. That's like a crawl space. He couldn't get in. And when he was finally able to get in, she pretended to be unconscious. I'm giving facts, folks.
Okay. Come on, talk to the people.
She texted her friend at 11:07 a.m. something to the effect of, he ain't here, I ain't feeling good, I can't believe it's over, blah, blah, blah. Then she hears him come in.
Okay.
Now, I didn't know Jonathan had such a fabulous place.
Fabulous.
I need to text him tonight. Say,
I
meet
was
me at the
just
Del
about
Pastos and let's hang out. Okay.
Go play that number again and we all write it down. Come on now. Go ahead.
The colors.
But when he gets in, because the doorman has to let him in, she locked him out.
Yeah.
She appears to be unconscious and he checks her.
Okay.
That's how he knows there's a scratch on the back of her ear. This was about 15 minutes when he had first originally arrived, between when she sent the text to her friend at 11:07 and about 11:22-23, they get in. So if she were unconscious, it was all of about 10 minutes.
Oh my.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the other part that we didn't see. There's audio of her screaming in the street.
Oh shoot.
But they didn't play that in court. They didn't think it was necessary. They said they couldn't really identify all of that as her voice. Okay. The other part about, well, they keep showing it to say, oh, when they're struggling in the vehicle, he's trying to get out, like the driver said. And should we talk about the driver opinion? What did he say, opinion? It was the girl.
She was hitting him upside the head, and he was trying to get her to stay away from him.
He kept saying, let me go. And she jumped on his back when he was leaving the SUV. But
you better preach, Felicia.
She said she had an injury to the back of her head. So from what I could see from the footage, she was face front with him trying to get her back into the vehicle. Okay. And so if something happened, it happened, but we didn't see anything in the front. Okay. We did. All right. Now, as far as these other parts where folks feel like, well, people, these men are not human beings, that they don't have anything to offer. They want to believe the victim without, as the Don says, verifying. So I am confident, because I've been reading this chat. It doesn't matter how much video. It doesn't matter how much you hear. It doesn't seem to matter what is presented to you. You believe this person should be taken off the street. They're a problem. I've got to go back to opinion again.
Okay. Oh shoot.
Don't let a man tell you twice he don't want you.
Come on. Woo.
If a black man don't want you, black woman, it's okay.
Okay.
There's somebody else out there who does.
Okay.
If there's a Latino man out there who say he don't want you, my Latino sister, don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's another man out there who does.
Come on now.
But like everything else, don't be judging people on race and gender. Let's get to the heart of the conversation. We didn't expect her to be a Coretta Scott King, because ain't none of us gonna ever be a Coretta Scott King. Not a one of us.
On, Miss Felicia.
Preach, Miss Felicia, won't you preach me?
Amen. And how dare anybody think you gonna be Michelle Obama? You's a whole food.
Come
It's
on.
not possible. So he was using it as an example of some of the characteristics, the values, the way you carry yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to see her drunk no more. He didn't want to see her in her own urine. Oh, urine,
He
yes.
didn't want a white Tiffany Haddish. Come on, Felicia.
That's right. He didn't want to have to come back home and you're laying up in your vomit and you're naked out here. He covered you up for the NYPD. And let's talk about the NYPD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They encouraged this woman
Mm-hmm.
to infer that this man tried to strangle her.
Oh my gosh.
And for those of you who don't know, because I'm just bringing you the facts.
Mm-hmm.
When they showed up, they thought it was her place, not his.
Oh,
come on.
Oh,
they believe that
they
the
thought
black man
it
can't
was
own anything
Grace's
that nice.
place.
Mm.
They thought that she was such an incredible dancer that she could afford the top level of the penthouse down there in looks like maybe NoHo. Okay.
Come on, Felicia.
Preach,
but, you know, we talk
preach.
about prejudice and bias, and we have it in steroids in this chat.
Oh my gosh.
If the black man don't want you, he don't want you.
Oh my.
If the white man don't want, he don't want you. If the binary man don't want, he don't want you. Go to who somebody want to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And stop all of this. Oh, he want to be with the bunny. He has the right to be who he want to be with, but he doesn't have the right to have his freedom taken from him because someone stole something of his.
Oh my.
Speak on it, Felicia. Speak on it. Amen, sister. Amen.
Amen, sister. And me and you together, we gonna finish off that trash. And we're gonna let the Don
Free Jonathan Majors.
Oh no, he's already free. And I said to Diva, the day his mother showed up, it was a wrap. The power of a mother.
Mother's love, yes. Amen.
Okay. Did you see her mama? You see Grace's mama?
Yep.
You see her people?
Nope, not hers.
Okay.
They wasn't nowhere to be found, Miss Felicia. They couldn't even get an airplane ticket.
God is a righteous God. And when all those will stand and turn their back on the truth or to give the truth a moment, he will stand with you. And I promise you, when that verdict comes in, I'm going to be across the street at 1221 6th Avenue. I'm going to be in the Del Frisco's and I'm going to have my favorite martini. Okay? Because it's going to be a great day. Thank you.
And the truth.
Amen. Can we get an amen?
Amen. That was the whole thing.
Amen. And thank you, Miss Felicia, for staying with me.
And pass the collection net. We ain't wait because we ain't taking no coins. We only taking dollars.
Amen to that.
Amen.
You can't put a price on freedom.
Oh my God.
Stop sending everybody to jail.
Woo. Ooh. Leo.
Come on. Come on, Leo.
Well, you know, I done already been told, so I yield my time to the panel. Love you all. Love you, Felicia. Thank you, girl. Bye.
You're welcome.
E. They said give him his career back. Come on now, E.
Well, I have a difference of opinion, of course. And when I saw the video, that was my first time seeing that. And my first thought was not him running away from his Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott. I just could not believe that he would do such a thing. He's going in the opposite direction. You know, a few people said they want to take out the trash, but are we forgetting this is the same trash that Jonathan flew in, he moved in, and put his tutu in? So why are Black women taking the trash out of these men that the Black men are steady trying to clean up, show off and rebrand as the black man's savior. See, I'm not throwing away Jonathan's Michelle Obama. Oh no, I'm not going to throw away his choice no more than I will throw away Barack's choice. No, ma'am. The Bible says, when a man findeth a good woman, he shall find a good thing. Well, he made his choice and I respect it. And I have to stand with his woman right now because this is how women show camaraderie with other women. And I said, I have to stand with his woman. I ain't got no problem with her, and I will not be faulted for giving this white woman the same benefit of the doubt that Jonathan gave her when he brought her over here. It's not my fault that he broke up with her before the rest of us. Poor thing. But folks say, don't let a black man tell you he don't want you twice. Well, when Jonathan picked that white woman, he told all the black women, I don't want y'all. The only black woman I need is my black mama. And I say to that, 2 thumbs up for you, my brother. He doesn't need to tell anything twice to me. We saw it, we respected it, and we will not be picketing and boycotting for men who have told us they do not want us. I think that we should stop burdening black women with the problem. No, let me rephrase that. We need to stop burdening black women with the freedom issues of men who are not in the business of being men for us. That's not a black woman's problem. That's Mammy's problem. By the way she was chasing him down the street, though, it's clear to me that he was asking for a treasure, which he did not enjoy. Okay. He asked this woman to self-sacrifice and put his needs before her own, love him beyond the demonstration of her own non-melanated mother, and smother him with the affection he had become accustomed to by his own black mother. So asking a woman of that caliber to carry a torch, which goes beyond their own tool set, and to live with it, be in love with it, and identify with it, and practice breeding with it. Listen, that can drive a woman insane. There are normal black women in everyday relationships right now with undereducated and under-earning black men right now with 4 and 5 baby mamas who are chasing these men down the street just like Grace. There are women chasing average men down the street right now trying to knock some sense into them. Just on Sunday, we heard Sweet Tea say Dr. Heavenly was about to knock the hell out of Daddy with the frying pan because of something he did to her. And so I'm supposed to get bent out of shape about Grace chasing Jonathan down the street in her heels on? Oh, no, I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is these men are driving regular women crazy and then playing the victim when it's time to see the judge. He had something in his phone which she did not respond well to, and she had a human reaction. I'm going to see how this plays out. He did all that yapping about be his Michelle and Coretta, but I never heard him say he will be her Barack and Martin Luther. On that recording, his tone was something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It did rub me the wrong way. He said, I'm a great man. I'm doing great things for my culture. I didn't ask for this, but I work hard for it. This man is putting himself on a pedestal and is truly lacking the concept of identity to even know which culture he belongs to. Talking about Martin Luther, Martin believed in humility being meekness and the absence of self. And to say you want a wife like Martin's, but immediately follow that with, I'm a great man, sir, you pat yourself on the back too much for me. That's not a quote Martin would say. That's something T.I. would say. That's something Blueface would say. And I tell you what, if he gets acquitted or if he gets found innocent, that's on him. I won't be celebrating either way. That's not my problem. Jonathan, let your mama throw you your celebratory party. Let her get you 2 balloons and 2 cupcakes. But count me out. I got other things to worry about.
Woo. Savannah.
Dang.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for coming out. And good night, she said. I appreciate you.
Best wishes.
Woo. Ooh. Savannah, any words?
I cannot with you.
I'm trying to finish my second glass of Stella Black here from Miss E. I'm sorry, for Miss Felicia. Miss Felicia. I've been saying it from the beginning. This case reminds me a lot of the Johnny Depp case that happened earlier this year with him and Amber Heard, and the damaging consequences of the spread of misinformation is incalculable. And this young man, Jonathan Majors, was on such a rise when these allegations came up, and he has lost so much. And many had crucified him already without this the latest information. I started following and reading the transcripts of the trial, and when Grace testified on December 6th, as crying at times without tears, mind you. There were, and this is according to the transcripts, you can find them online. Um, there were messages that came on his phone, his property, and she tried to grab for the phone. So there was a tussle, according to her testimony, in the car. But he did push her back in the car. He exited away from the situation. So he's trying to get away from the situation. She wanted to continue to engage and escalate this event that occurred. So at that point, he is no longer the aggressor, from what I've heard, and not saying that he ever was, but according to her testimony, she's saying that he physically did put his hands on her, trying to keep his property from her. So I agree completely with Miss Felicia, and thank you for that perspective. And I really think that although Jonathan, and I hope the truth comes out, and he is vindicated in some sorts. He's already lost so much that I don't see this as a full win for him. He'll win his reputation, but where he was in Hollywood and where he was climbing, it's going to take him years, if not decades, to get to that status again.
Yeah, I so agree. Chanel, you're up.
Woo! I'm betting 1,000 because I don't know. I have a different perspective. I cannot. I hate, and I'm not saying it's anything towards you, Miss Savannah. But I've heard this so many times when a man is accused of something, then people start, well, we're ruining that man's life and his career, and that happened. I can't. I can't. But I'll say this. I did love Miss Felicia's one part of her statement, because she said, I love give love a moment, or give truth a moment, or something like that. I really like that statement or that comment. But, and I will say this, I think what the Don was saying is also true. Keep your hands to yourself. With all of that being said, though, I think Don said something about men are typically the ones that the police take away or arrest or whatever in a domestic violence situation. But I think that's accurate, but I think you have to ask yourself why it's accurate. Why is that typically the case? And my answer is because typically, statistically, men are the perpetrators. It is just a fact. So I'm not sure why we need to bring that up. It just is what it is. And here's my thing. If we're so caught up and we're so pissed off about men being shipped off to jail because of violent or physical abuse of someone else, if that's the bridge we're gonna stand on, then I'm just saying, let's talk to all the men, right? Let's talk to your daddy, your uncle, your cousins, your friends, your besties, all of these people about why statistically men continuously are the perpetrators and physically violent situations with regard to women. If you want to change it, let's have zero tolerance for men hitting women, not abusing. I don't know the right word that we could use, but I'm saying hold yourself.
Hold on one second, Nikki. Hold on one second. Espar, thank you so much for this super chat. Didn't he admit to putting hands on her in one of the text messages? And one of the text messages he did. Nikki, I'm appreciating it. I want to circle you back to come to this conversation, right? I get it that, you know, men may put their hands on females. Females put their hands on male. We're ignoring, I think, the fact that we got a whole video of this man running like he's in a marathon, like he's about to pass the baton to somebody, and she's running after him. They tell you if someone breaks into your home and they are leaving your home and you pow them in the back, you are now in trouble because you were out of danger and that person was leaving. This man was running. He was getting in. He crossed streets, went in front of cars, and even when he walked past his own building, he still didn't come up to her and say, I'm going to choke the mess out of you. He still walked past her and she came after him again. They were not called to the house for DV. They were called to the house because he came from a hotel. Here go a man. That's his penthouse. And he stayed in a hotel instead of going back to his penthouse. He gets there, she's passed out, she's naked, and he gets arrested. Now we gotta come on, y'all. Let's come together here. That make sense how this man is so wrong in this particular situation right here.
Okay. So can I address what
Yes.
you said? Okay. So I'm not arguing that he isn't in the right. I'm not arguing that. And the only reason that I brought up what I brought up was because I heard someone say something about, I think Dawn said it, something about in these type of situations, men are the ones that are typically taken off to, you know, arrested or whatever the case may be. So I'm saying, I understand that. And I 100% agree. But I'm saying, if we want to utilize this type of situation to kind of balance the legal system or whatever, then, you know, if you're going to say this is what's happening to men, then all I'm going to do is rebut you and say, let's be clear. Let's paint the whole picture. Let's not just zero in on what we want to see, because he's right. He's absolutely right. Statistically, that's who gets taken off to jail. But statistically, in the same swoop, females are the ones that are traditionally the ones that are assaulted. So I'm just saying, we can't have it both ways. If you want that to be the way that, you know, we're gonna stop this violence, or we're gonna stop the people who are continuously assuming men are the aggressors or men are the perpetrators, then let's change the statistics for the men, and we won't have this problem. Let's end this social problem, because it is worldwide. It is not just here, it's everywhere. And that's all I'm saying. I think your video truly demonstrates exactly what your point is, which is, thankfully, it's on video that this person, this lady, is, I don't know what the right word is, but she won't leave him alone. She's pestering him. She keeps poking at him. I'm at a loss for words right now. I don't disagree with any of that. I just don't necessarily agree that we can just look at it from one-sided and just say, well, you know, this is bad over here that we keep sending men off to jail. Well, change the statistic that requires men to have to go to jail for these reasons, and then we good. But men aren't going to do that. And I'm just saying, I'm going to leave it there, though.
Let me
in my opinion, give me a minute. Hold on, because I got to get Robin in, and y'all got me in overtime. Robin, get in. Course correction. Thank you for this. She testified he never hit her before that night. So she's all over the place too. But Robin, jump in.
Okay, jumping in. I know that this whole thing is about reputations and stuff, but I want us to stick to the facts of this case. Miss Felicia, thank you very much for leaving this part for me to address. I want to talk about this case, and more specifically, the charges. Now, we know that I want to tell you I have a bias. I had an opinion before, but as I've gotten more information, I've seen and read and heard different things, mostly about the prosecutor's office here in Manhattan. I'm dubious about them, their behavior, and their motives. Let's start with the fact that we say that she was the victim. He was also seen as a victim. You know when he was seen as a victim? After when the police arrested Grace, they believed, in fact, that they had probable cause for arrest her because she also was abusive toward him. first and foremost. They had credible case and evidence. It was the DA who decided not to prosecute, picking one victim over the other. My cut's worse than your cut. It's a cut. A cut is a cut is a cut, in my opinion. They both, if there is going to be any prosecution over this event, they both need to be on the chopping block. That's number one. Number two, I understand. Now, by the way, I'm going to tell you, I got most of this information watching one of my favorite shows, Roland Martin Unfiltered, both a while ago. And then tonight, a woman, Lauren Victoria Burke, who has her own media company, Win Media. She's based in DC. She's in the courtroom. And she talked about, we've heard and seen different things about evidence presented or not, objections raised, and what the judge allowed or not. The judge did not allow even the detectives to speak to what he saw that Grace did that was wrong, that was illegal, that was harmful. So there's some issues in this unjust system, period, point blank. I want to side with Diva and others on this panel, which this man is running away from her. What sense does it make that he's fleeing, but she's running to fight him? Problematic. And yes, we do know that most instances of violence and domestic abuse that we hear about and are prosecuted, brought to the fore, are men against women. But the truth of the matter is, in this particular instance, there is so much tangible, physical, videotape evidence of the egregious behavior, mostly on her part, that is damn crazy as hell, that this man is facing a year in jail. Now, anybody here who's talking about how he don't care about Black women, I know for me, I'm not checking for him. He ain't checking for me. He's not checking for us. I don't think that he ever got with Black women before making
not paying my bills.
Business. I don't care. What I do care about is justice. What I do care about is right and wrong. Because trust me, I've done enough right and I've done enough wrong to know the difference. And I know when something is worthy of prosecution. I know when someone is in a pickle like this man is, who has had his entire reputation bottomed out. How did he know that she had a cut behind her ear? The lady he thought is dying on the floor of his house. He's calling 911. They come. He gets arrested in the end. Are you kidding me? I think that this is a very important case for us to keep our eyes on, to be vocal about. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like her. You don't have to dislike him. You don't have to dislike her. One of the things that we need to get to, and I'm not going to say get back to, because I'm going to say for us, but especially people who are Black, brown, and Latino in this country, we ain't never been on even footing. We got to fight for it. And I'm going to say this 10 times, again, and again. We have to be clear about whether or not we want to be on the right side of right, whether or not we want to believe in the justice system, whether or not we want to make it work for us, and if we're going to work within it to make it work for us and by us. That's it. Period and point blank.
I appreciate you, Robin. And Deshae, I appreciate you too. We're not here doing the dating game. We sure not. It's about justice. It's not about who he was dating. This ain't the dating game. This is serious. This is about a man's life and his freedom. It's not the dating game. I don't care who he chose to date. And let's be clear, although they may not verbalize it in this way, a lot of people feel in relationships, you are representing me. Live up to the standard. Now, he verbalized it by using Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. But if y'all want to be truthful, let's do facts here. A lot of people, and maybe they don't say it to you that way, they want you to live up to the standard and represent them when you're walking down these streets and they calling you their girlfriend, their wife, or whatever.
Let it be Jill Biden.
Huh? What did you say?
Let it be Jill Biden.
I'm just saying, okay, but it ain't, but you know what though, like somebody said, it ain't the dating game. This man's life is on the line. A year in jail, and he was running. He didn't run after her. He did not run after her. He was running. He didn't go back to his own apartment and tell her to get out. A real aggressive man, they would have went back to their own spot, their own penthouse.
And would have beat her behind. And would have beat her
I don't want to do that over here. But they would have went back to their own penthouse.
And did we
told
all
her to get out?
And did we all see when she was in that position in the closet how her eyes looked?
Yeah, but I don't even want to go there, Julius. I don't mean to cut you short, but 60 seconds, because y'all got me in OT.
My view has changed. That whole track meet, my view has changed. And I don't care who lived where. The scene in the closet and how she was so out of it. Yeah, nah, I'm good.
I appreciate you.
Hey, Diva, can I say one thing before you close this train out tonight?
Yes, of course.
It is very important to understand that, yes, men are taken down, prosecuted, locked up, jail for years for DV because the women reported. If men reported slaps, scratches, punches, the way women reported it, we would see a difference in the statistics. Men don't report it because they're embarrassed. They don't want to report it. So that's why we have to take a pause when we automatically jump to the side of the women all of the time, especially when there's video evidence.
Come on now. Preach it on. The man was running. And nobody wants to acknowledge that. But I tell you this, though. If he was running after her, they would have shut the court down. They would have shut the courtroom down and said this girl was running for her life and he was sprinting after her. She's running after him and everybody's whatever. He walked past her. When somebody is super aggressive and they mad at you, they're not running from you. I promise you that. And when they see you again, after they done did a whole sprint and everything, they're not going to look at you and walk past you. They're going to be up in your face. I told you not to take my phone. He walked past and she came after him again. Not for nothing. If you dig in the facts, out of her own words, the phone call she wanted to record, the night before, whatever, she was out drinking and falling out and passing out again. And he told her, I'm sick of it. Now, granted, did his tone sound harsh? Did it sound messy? Whatever. He tried to tell her, but he did sign up for it. But he tried to tell her, I can't have you out here being a pissy drunk. And I'm athletic. And I got a brand I'm building. And every time I turn around, you can't hold your liquor.
What is Jonathan?
And Diva, please don't forget.
I found this on
And
the
she's
web.
not even a good dancer.
I'm messing with you. I cannot right now. I cannot. But listen, guys, y'all know I got to close out. Y'all, if you can, give me 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Hold on 1 second because we're closing out. But y'all got to see this story.
Diva.
I know that's
be up
right.
tonight.
Listen. I want to say this to y'all. I get it. There's some feelings that you may have about Jonathan Majors. Listen, I get it. Maybe some people have some feelings about who he chose to date. But all I want to say is show some kindness and some love. Put your feelings aside about who this man decided to date. Put your feelings aside about some audio you heard of him saying, be Coretta Scott King and all of this other stuff. This man's life is on the line. 1 year in jail for what? Because he chose to date one race over another. 1 year in jail for what? Because he said you should be like Coretta Scott King. He didn't say you were B, you were hoe, you were this, you were that. Show some kindness. And let's look at the facts. I want to thank y'all for being here. I'm glad we had this trending topics tonight. I appreciate y'all. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. And I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Choo choo.
Bye,
Good night,
everybody.
bye, Diva.